Episode number 149 of Making the Case. Women just want to be entertained. Stay tuned. You ain't going to want to miss this. Hey, what up, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of Making a Case. I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Isom. Hey, I got another special one for you. We're on episode 149. We one short of 150, baby. We just keep turning them out. We're going to keep doing that. But we got two channel norms. One, we attack points in our people, and then two, we don't do all that cussing derogatory stuff because we like to keep it professional over here. Hey, now, I know you might be thinking, what is he talking about now? Okay. So the title of this episode is Women Just Want to Be Entertained. All right. So let me break down what I mean by that. Okay. Now, in my experience, and I would say in a lot of guys' experience, we all hear women, just want to have fun, right? There was a song called Girls Just Want to Have Fun, right? One of the first thing a woman would say or expect from a man is to be taken out on a date. Okay. And now we didn't get to a point where it can't just be any date. Cheesecake Factory is not good enough, right? Like they want you to put some effort into it. Like even if it's going to be going out to eat, they really want to go to a really expensive place, or they want you to take them somewhere they haven't been. They want to go on vacation and things of that nature. So when it comes to dating nowadays, a lot of times women just want the experience that you can provide as a man, right? That to them kind of speaks to, okay, what kind of life that you can actually provide them. Now, in some instances, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Of course, you want to be taken care of by a man. But on another instance, it's like, okay, are you trying to get to know somebody or are you trying to get finance? All right. Now, I had to put a disclaimer out there because, you know how people are, right? I'm speaking in general. This is not every woman, right? We know with social media, sometimes social media makes it look like it's one way when it's really not. But I think for the most part, and there's different levels to it, right? Your Instagram models and your women who make a lot of money, of course, they're going to expect a certain treatment from a man. But even women that are middle class and, a little bit below that, right? They still would like to be treated a certain way, right? Being taken on dates. They still want a certain type of treatment that they feel women should have, right? And we know where all this is coming from, particularly nowadays, right? So that's what I mean when I say women want to be entertained, right? They want to be taken out. They want to be wine and dine and all this. But the issue is becoming, are people really genuinely getting to know each other, right? Are they starting with a foundation and build up, or if it's all about materialism and what somebody can do for you? That is the issue. That is what we're going to address today. I have a video, and we're just going to have a conversation, right? So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Entertainment conversation that we were having about like women wanting dudes to be charismatic and charming and basically be entertainment on dates. There's Netflix for that, but okay, Eric, can you go ahead and pull it up? I met this guy. He's really. Oh, can you hold on? Hold on. Can you pause the audio or mute the audio? My bad. All right. Client, I met this guy. He's really nice, but I don't care. I don't know. Next, or just play. I don't feel that much chemistry with him. He's boring. And get ready to pause. He doesn't trigger my anxious trauma response, which I confuse with love. So, any reaction to that?
I think that's super valid. I think that's super, super valid. And,
Build a website you love with Wix, where your words
growing up seeing an unhappy marriage between my parents, and having an attorney as a dad, you sense love in different ways. And I absolutely have had to work through, and I'm still very much so trying to work through, feeling comfortable in, what would be a healthy relationship. And if a guy, I mean, I've said to Stella, oh, we went out, but he was boring. Like it didn't, we had great conversation, but I didn't feel anything. So yeah, I think that's super valid.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just when the whole vibe chemistry thing, it's to me, it's just this nebulous term. What does that even mean? I mean, I often hear from girls, the guy could.
Yeah, I want to stop it right there because I want to touch on that a little bit. And this is part of the problem with modern day dating, right? When you hear young women, and a lot of times it's coming from young women, right? Well, I just didn't feel that spark. You always hear women talking about vibe and connection and things of that nature, which lets you know a lot of times it means that they don't know what they're looking for when it comes to a relationship, right? The two main things women should be looking for is protection and provision. Can he protect you? Can he provide for you? Right? Sometimes feelings develop later on. Right? Now, I'm not telling you to just go out and pick anybody who can provide and protect you. But when it comes to this whole, oh, I don't get butterflies, like that's stuff for movies, okay? We just got to be realistic about things. So women can kind of confuse, which is why a lot of time women make horrible choices because, that quote unquote bad guy that gives them feelings, well, look what he does to you, though. All right. That's why going off that intuition, if you want to call it, or that feeling could really make them make bad choices. Let's get back into it.
Otherwise be perfectly pleasant, treat you well, even be attractive.
Checks all the boxes.
But you just don't feel that. And like, guys, it's just very different because guys, we don't look. Also, I think it's the vibe is something the guy brings. It's the guy that's lacking something that is eliciting the vibe in you. The vibe. How often do women bring the vibe? It's just the guy isn't charismatic enough. He's not funny. He's not entertaining. I'll
say is I bring my vibe everywhere that I go. And if he has anything going on and it starts and we're just, if it's flowing seamlessly, if we're just talking and we can have good conversation and I don't have to think, oh gosh, what should I ask him next? Like, what should I remember to bring up because we're going to run out of conversation. That's what I mean by the vibe. If we are on the same wavelength, intellectually, and we can have a solid conversation, that's when I feel the vibe.
But I think when you're searching for the electricity, the chemistry, the vibe, the click, the butterflies, whatever bullshit term you want to call it, this is why women fall for players.
Yeah,
because
they're charismatic.
They excite you. They tell good stories. They have charisma. But we as men, we are not your entertainers. If you want entertainment, go watch Netflix. Like, we don't exist to make you entertained. So I don't know. I think
she's just talking.
And that is why I want to touch on a topic such as this, is because a lot of women think like this, right? Oh, he's not giving me this feeling. He's not doing this for me. He's not doing that for me. They feel like a man should be there to entertain them, should be there to provide things for them, which comes to feeling, right? Because if a man is buying flowers and doing this and doing that, then she'll get those feelings, right? So that be the warp in the psyche, right, for women, like, because they literally think men are just supposed to drool over them and they're supposed to do everything for them, right? While they just there. Okay, let's keep
about the fact that a guy needs to be able to hold a conversation. Like, we're not expecting them to do a little.
Holy shit!
Mark Coons super chatted $500. Ladies, would you date a guy in the oil industry in North Dakota? By the way, I'm in my mid-40s.
Hold on. Actually, that really quick, that triggers fireworks. Yo, Mark Coons, thank you for the big $500 soup chat. Holy shit, man. Dude, thank you so fucking much, man. I really appreciate your patronage, man. That's really nice. So what was the question?
Would you date a guy that works in the oil industry in Dakota? He's in his mid-40s, by the way. No, I have a boyfriend. But if I was single, maybe. Just because he's 40.
40 too old?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to move to North Dakota personally.
Yeah, at this point, 40 is a little old for myself.
Architecture and interior design? Find a 3D designer today.
North Dakota, then?
I'd love to move to some random little state. I can't wait to get out of California.
He owns like 7 oil derricks. Have you seen There Will Be Blood? The critically acclaimed film by Daniel Day-Lewis?
No.
This guy's a direct descendant of Daniel Plainview.
Wow.
Oil man. He's an oil man.
Wow.
Okay.
That's old money.
What about you? Would you
No.
do it? Okay.
Sorry.
All right. What were we talking about? The vibe. Thank you. What was his name again?
I think you were just trying to tell us
Mark,
that
sorry.
energy is not a real thing, when I think it very much is.
We don't need you to do like a whole song and dance for us, but if you can, like she was saying, I don't need to be the one pulling the conversation the whole time.
I think it's a mutual thing. I think it's either there or it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
If I did what most women do on first dates, like if I didn't carry the conversation, I guaranteed that it would be awkward silence all the fucking time. For most dates I go on.
So then you're
girls.
dating the wrong women.
No, it's just y'all can't really carry a conversation.
I wish
Y'all
you could
really
experience
can't.
myself on a date because
Okay,
I can only speak
Sophia.
for myself.
So hold on, Sophia, you and me on our date. I'm gonna do Lead the conversation.
All right, we're gonna stop it right there because they about to go down a whole rabbit hole that I just don't want to go on. But I do want to touch on something real quick. And this is no disrespect, right? But I will agree with them because women do expect men to take the lead in a lot of different categories, right? But I think I've told someone before, except sex, right? Women want to be able to control when that happens, but everything else, a woman wants a man to take the lead in, right? So even if it's conversation, planning dates, what have you, a woman wants a man to take the lead. So if a man is not leading, if a man is not bringing something, then all of a sudden that man is not this, that man is not that, right? And a lot of times women cannot hold and carry a conversation, right? They be waiting for the man to lead that, right? So if a man is not doing it, it goes back to, well, they feel like a man should be entertained. A man should be doing so much when it comes to the dating process, when it comes to a relationship. And it begs to ask the question, well, okay, why am I really in this dating situation or relationship if I'm gonna have to be doing all the work and you don't feel like you have to really do much, right? I got to do all the heavy lifting, right? So I really think it starts that conversation, right? Of course, not all, but I mean, this is the conversation that we need to have, right? People pulling their own weight when it comes to dating, right? We're gonna end the video right there, man. Let me know what you think, man, on the topic. So, do women expect men to just entertain them? Hey, comment. Let me know what you think. All right. But as always, I appreciate you. I am you, you are me. Love always, love return. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And we out. Deuces. One love.